What's up there, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So in the last episode we finished repairing and repainting the DE6 and we arrived here at Steel Mill after bringing a fairly reasonable order here. It was about 700 tons. Today we've got bigger plans. You might have heard of a brake test. Well, today we're doing a weight test. Please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Alright, so first and foremost, there is some jobs here, but not jobs that I actually want to take, because what I want to do is get quite a bit of weight behind us in this episode and see how much weight we can actually manage with these trains. Now, in the last episode, we did actually run through... oh, we've got a flashing light already. We did actually run through a place that I want to go back to, basically. So what I'm going to do is just actually release this parking brake. That's one of the problems. We won't start up the DE6, and that will sort that out in terms of the flashing light there. The flashing warning light is gone. Right, I want to run these guys forward. And I want to go back to CMS, Coal Mine South. The only issue with that is, you might notice there, I think the loco that was there is despawned. So we know that was a DE6. So what we need is another DE6 basically, because... the reason for that is because I want to take quite a lot of weight, like a heavy amount. So if we look at the manual, we can see we have got a DH4 at the front of our consist, which can take 2,000 tons in the dry and flat. And we've got a DE6 which can take 3,000, so call that 5,000. And we've also got the slug, which it doesn't really tell you kind of how much extra weight that adds on. It's got a remote there. I wonder why that is. That's odd. Because it doesn't work with the remote, it only works with the MU cable. That's very weird, isn't it? I wonder whether that's a mistake by the developer there, or if anybody knows, do let me know. But for now, guys, anyway, let's run forward. So I'm going to run up here, and I'm going to grab, there's a DE6 somewhere over there. So we'll grab that, and we'll put it on the actual back of our consist here. Might as well put a bit more throttle on. These trains are not... locos are not struggling for fuel at the moment. We only did a really short run last time, so we should be absolutely fine here. Just pressing on. So we'll pull her up the line there, and then we'll grab the other DE6 and tuck her in behind, and then we'll head back to Coal Mine South, where we'll see what orders they are there. So last time when we ran through there, we noticed that there was some very heavy orders there. So 1.5 thousand tons, I think, was, or 1.6 thousand tons was one of them. And then there was a few others, and they were all going to coal power plants. So what I'd really like to do is maybe, hopefully grab some orders like that, put them together, and see what we can come up with. But for now, I'm going to put this train brake on, bring everything to a halt here, and I'm going to shut it down for the time being. In fact, we'll put parking brake on just to hold her, and I'll just go and grab. Oh, I'm facing the wrong direction. That happens sometimes if you try to run through cars like that very quickly. We'll just rotate this. Yeah, we're going to grab this DE6 and plonk her on the back of our consist and just try and push the weight right up, basically, of our train. Hopefully try and break our own record, which I think is about 3,000 tons. I don't want to do more than that. Oh, oh, so confidently going to start the engine without any power on. I'll also put some lights on in here so we actually see what we're doing. Right, let's fire her up now. I like to give the throttle a little rev. Put that in. Actually, we don't need that. No, we do. We'll put it like that for now. And we'll get her moving forward. Do you know, if I had a penny for every time I left the parking brake on, I would be very rich. Alright, so we'll get this girl on here. Use a bit of independent. Now, that doesn't really look like it's on, but it is. And yeah, we're going to back her up onto the main line. And here we go. So yeah, we'll reverse her up and then we'll go and see what there is in store for us at Coal Power Plant. The other jobs actually from station office, I should mention here. I should mention the jobs that are coming from here are all going back to harbour, at least the weightier ones. So I didn't want to go back there just yet. You know, we're often in and out of there, and it's nothing new, is it? That I mean, we do want to go back there soon because of the military jobs that I want to run up to military base. I want to try and get some big money for those now that we've got everything unlocked. But yeah, I don't want to go right back there right now. I want to do some varied stuff, some varied content, some varied drops, some varied orders to varied stations, and yeah, visit the map a bit more really. Seems as if there was nothing happening with the brakes there. Alright, so once we've got this connected up here, we'll be heading in this direction out. Can't see how fast we're going, but just take it easy, very easy. What I'll do is I'll get back my remote, and this should allow us to couple here. There we go. So yeah, so because we've got a consist side here, we can couple up to here, so this is all good. You can hear the brakes now doing their thing. What I'll do is switch that like that. I do have a flashing light there. So what we should have really is one main loco, which is this one, and the fact that it's not started up is probably the problem. So everything should be set now for us to go. We don't need our remote units. If you're wondering why I installed them previously, it's because I wanted a loco at either end of the system basically. Why is this not kind of doing what I want it to do right now? Right, that is actually okay, I think. Right, so that train brake is now released. That is flashing. That is cut out. I'll just put a bit of independent brake on this front one just to kind of hold things where they are. So why is this not in the same position now? This train brake should be released. These aren't on. While these are in the off position, the MU cable is still active. And we should have a fully active train right now because everything's connected together. Let's check the parking brakes again. Actually, you know what? That's the reason, obviously. I forgot about that. Wow. Okay, with that released. Right, let's see what's happening now. Right, what's actually working now and what isn't? Is this real loco now doing what it needs to do? Yeah, so brakes are released. So if I power up, this girl should come up as well. There we go, she is. Right, so we've got 2 locos on and 1 off. So we'll switch this one off because we don't need them on. We'll let the DH4 do all the hard work, because she's the most efficient. I'm going to run through the middle here. So we can hear the DH4 doing all the work back there. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, she's basically pushing 3 units here. The slug isn't active right now. She won't be able to feed off any electricity from the DE6s because they're both switched off. The only issue that we have is the DH6 likes to overheat, which we've experienced quite a lot of. But we do have a light on this remote unit here that'll tell us when she's overheating in terms of the oil temperature. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that as we go. But once we arrive at Coal Mine South, we want to try and get as much weight together as possible in order to really test this little set of locos. All our switches should already be set because this is the way that we came. So yeah, it's just a case of making progress now. We'll check the switches anyway, just a bit, might as well, we've got time. So that one wants to be left, that one wants to be left, left again, and then right into Coal Mine South. Yeah, and then when we get to Coal Mine South, I'm not entirely too sure where we'll be heading, which lane we'll be heading into. We'll go to the station office first and see which jobs are going, and yeah, then that'll determine which lanes we need to be in. DH4 struggling a tiny bit, you'll see the speed dropping off. We are heading uphill. We don't have a temperature warning here yet. She's on full throttle now. And there you go, there's the first temperature warning. We'll just back her off a little bit. In fact, just to help her out a bit up here, we'll fire up this DE6. I was confused. I was thinking, should we fire up our own? Oh. What? She doesn't like being started when she's on the move? Whoa. Is it because of the extra sort of work that she'd have to do? Come on. There you can see we've eased the load there for the TH4. Hopefully that hot light will extinguish in a sec. There we go, it's extinguished now. It's a little bit dangerous that, because obviously without seeing the dials you don't know how hot she is. She could be on the brink of exploding, but took a risk there. Okay, we've got a 50 limit here, so we'll just ease her down a bit. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we got a pretty straight piece of track now, actually. despite these switches. Alright, good stuff. Oh, nightmare. Alright, so the reason why we're going in backwards is because, obviously, as we go along, we'll be going the opposite direction out of here, out of this stop, into where we're going. We've got a 50 limit here. Well, that was quick, wasn't it? We're approaching. Yep, and there's Coal Mine South. So yeah, so we'll stop about just there, running into the area. In fact, this first switch needs to be adjusted. Alright, we'll just let her come to a run stop there with the brakes applied. I will... Oh, there is a DE6 still here, that's good. Not that it really matters, unless because we've brought our own, but we can always see what's going anyway. So, coal power plant, here we go. 880 tonnes. Let's call that 900. 9.6 100 tonnes, so call that 1,000. So 1.9 so far. Food factory in town, I'm not going there. Coal power plant, so this is a load and prep. That could add an extra 320 tonnes, but don't fancy doing the shunting job right now. That's an offload. Another load. Coal power plant, 900 tonnes. What's this? Load and prep for steel mill? Nope. Yeah, again, another pickup with an extra 240 tonnes. Steel mill, food factory in town, harbour in town. So that leaves these three. So we'll put those into our inventory. So we've got 900 tonnes at 1,000, at 900. So it's not as much as what I was hoping for. 2.8 thousand, let's say. So quite a few cars though. So 11 cars, 12, so 23, add another 11, so 34 cars. So yeah, not too bad. So the numbers here are 50, 23 and 43 is what we're looking for. So 50, 23 and 43. So it won't be these because there's not much in terms of those. Let's have a look. Oh, there's one on its own here. This will be shunting. Oh, I hope there's no cars in the way. I can't be chewed moving stuff around. 36. What's that one? 69. 43. Actually, there shouldn't be any cars in the way because our loads will be quite a number of cars. Right, so this is one. So that's that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, I mean, you can pretty much rely on it to be correct. 50 and 23 is the other ones. So that's 36. So it's not there. Look at all these. So that's 23. Those load. Those lot. And what about this one? 50. Alright. Okay guys, so nice and fun, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there should be 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. Good stuff. So we'll get this 50 batch first. What we're referring to as batch 50. Order number 50, serial 50, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll get ourselves into here first. Right, so she's already in reverse, so we'll get her in here. This is going to be much easier with the remote though. So we don't actually need this other DE6. Could have probably done it without. But it won't do any harm. At least she's along. I was hoping for, like, you know, that 1.5 thousand tons order or something of that nature. Right, so here we go. Get ourselves lined up here. But this is going to be so much easier using this remote. Especially with these brake handles being on the end. Right, so what I'm going to do is put her into forward. Hear those brakes now start to release. Just check as well. So it is CMS FH50. So CMS FH50. So we'll load in order of what we've got here. So it'll be 23 next. So what I want to do is grab a flag and stick a flag on the end of this one, so that we know when this order ends, because all these cars are going to look very similar, aren't they? So there we go. So 23 is this one next to us, isn't it? Yes. Alright, so we'll get ourselves in here next. You can already see that it's a decent amount of cars so far. There's cars over there as well. That's another pickup point. We'll be almost there by the time we get loaded up. By the time you get all your cars on. That station office actually is quite a way down there, isn't it? I didn't realise. But yeah, I like the layout of this thing. It's really cool actually. It's different. Pretty interesting. We'll have a look on the map in a sec. And obviously got this wonderful view. Imagine working here and having this great view of this water. Absolutely fantastic. Oops. Yeah, pointing in the wrong direction with the power there, but it's alright. The brakes hadn't released. You can just hear those coming off now. Okay, so they are starting to struggle a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. So I think what we'll do is help them out. You can hear the slug there, but we'll help them out with this second DE6. Fire our one up. She doesn't like to start when she's moving. Still didn't like that. Yeah, she doesn't like that at all. I'm surprised at that. We haven't had an issue with that in the past, with starting a DE6 when she's on the move. Wow, we've got a lot of forward motion to do here before we can consider ourselves out of this lane. Look at all this. I think that's our next one. We'll check in a sec. Right, our signal range is struggling here actually, look. Flickering on and off. That's where the caboose comes in useful. Yeah, that's where the caboose is useful, where you don't have to worry about the signal range, because it's basically, once you've got the caboose, it boosts the range to some massive magnitude, something like 25 kilometers or something like that. It's ridiculous. Yeah, train brake was flickering on and off. Because of this remote issue, I might put a DE6 on the back and fit a remote to it. We've got another remote with us, but we've also got the tool shed available here, and it started to rain as well. So that is another added little chink in the armour, shall we call it. Wow, we've got a long way to go already. Right, yeah, we'll fire this girl up for now. I can already hear the comment section saying you don't need another DE6. But it would help us out a great deal, especially if it starts raining. Once it starts raining, your capacity to pull. What on earth has happened there? Don't ever fall off here, wow. Your capacity to pull is drastically changed and reduced. Right, so our last order is 43, which is this one. Last pickup here. Which is lane 5S. Nope, it's not. That's 65. Sorry, I got a bit lost there. 43. So it's that one. So if we have another D6 at the back, what that will mean is two things. Number one, we don't need to worry so much about the remote, because if we want to do a drop off, we can, when we get to our location at Coal Power Plant, we can just peel off using the DE6 at the back. We can use her and peel off the rear cars basically, and yeah, fix up the order that way. The other thing to mention is that we would need to install remotes into this second borrowed, this D6 up here, and this one, and that would then mean that the slug is not going to be operative because it overrides the remote MU cables basically, or not remote MU, I always call it that, MU cables. It overrides the MU cables, meaning that the physical cables connected to the slug would no longer operate. As soon as you turn on a remote unit, the MU cables are no longer active. So yeah, there's that side to it, unfortunately. Alright, let's put some brakes on. Right, I will grab that other DE6. I know you're going to think it's overkill. It's all good. And what we'll do is we'll use the rest of this episode to set things up. Oh, again, caught out with the old lack of power. Oh my days, moving too quickly. Again. One penny richer. So it's not this set. It's these, isn't it? Yeah, ask you because I don't know. Yeah, you can see them going in there. But let's just check anyway. Yep, 4-3. Yeah, so dragging the caboose along all the time, to me, isn't ideal. What I dare say here is that the remote is probably out of range to couple. In fact, we might not be even close enough here. Yes, we're not. What we could do is wow, this is fiddly without the range. Oh, she's going in the wrong direction. Why did I do that? It's because we are facing the other direction now. It confused me. Wow. Yeah, you can see we're losing signal all the time at this range. Alright, so that's everything connected up nicely. What I'll do is save some fuel while we... Don't do that. We'll save some fuel while we... one thing I should have done there actually is flip this in case I forget. Alright, hold on. Before we go down there, let me go to the tool shed. Grab me one of these and one of these. Okay, we'll install these. The other thing that I didn't do actually is a little bit of tidy up work required in terms of flags. So let's go down here first like we planned to. What order is this one here? 50. Right, we'll look for flags on the way back up. So we'll shut her down for now. So she's going to need the remote installing. We'll pop this one here. Oh, we don't have any soldering wire with us. Alright, what we'll do is, while we're here, shut her down. Shut her down. Parking brake on. Right, oh, that's an absolute nuisance, isn't it? Oh well, so this first order is 50. You can see the flag there. Going into our next set, which is 23, which is 12 cars. So this should be the last 23. Certainly is. So we'll put a flag on there, and then obviously our rear set is obviously, you know, it's pretty obvious, but anyway, we'll just stick on it anyway. It's kind of like for the sake of it now. We'll put the parts that we need here in here. Alright, so that's them actually installed. They just need the wiring done, which we'll do now. So we can do that separately. It's kind of like... It's not as time consuming anyway, because we'll focus on installing and then doing the wiring separately. So that's now ready. Let's pop back up here first. Right, in we go. Pop that down out here, and then yes. So just so that we don't forget, this one will be set to rear because this loco is actually going to be driving in reverse. We'll now put the wiring in this one. And this one is also going to be in reverse. I could have done that without going in there actually. But anyway. Okay, so we'll pop that back in our inventory if it'll let us. Yeah, So we'll also switch this one to reverse. Actually, we'll set all this up for next time, and then it's all easy, isn't it? He says. Probably come back and find that strange parking brakes are actually not on and stuff like that. We'll have one parking brake on now, and then when we come back we'll have loads on for some reason. Transmit mode forward. Right, so we've got transmit mode forward for our lead loco, transmit mode forward for our second loco, which is also facing this way. Just check them. Yeah. Receive mode. Receive forward. This one will be receive reverse. Yeah. And then our last one right at the back. Receive reverse, and as you can see, you hear some hissing there as the brake pressure comes off. So the main brakes are actually off now. If I push this up, you'll see remote wise, you'll see the brake pressure start to come up, and the available pressure reduce. So there we go. That's us all set up for next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Sorry it's a bit rushed. I actually don't intend to rush episodes too much, but I do actually need to do a couple of things today, and then I'll come back and record the rest of this episode where we drive. So everything's set up. We've got 4 locos in our consist. We've got a slug, which is not a great deal of use until we switch off those remotes, and hopefully it'll fire back up. We did have an issue with that in the past though. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please do take care of yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, of course, please do hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you go ahead and do that. Hit the notification bell to be notified of up and coming videos. But otherwise, guys, I'll catch you guys again soon. See you further down the tracks.